there, this is Datila with Rangers of Wrestling, bringing you the Wrestling Time post show. And for tonight, I will be reviewing AEW All Out. Alright, there's so much to talk about tonight. Oh my god, where do we even start with this? So much happened on tonight's show, and apparently there's CM Punk is going off at the media scrum. Alright. So let's just start from the beginning. Let's just recap the whole show. Alright. So you had All Out 0 Hour in the pre-show, and it kicked off with the AAA World Mixed Tag Team Championship match. It was Melo and Sammy Guevara versus Ruby Soho and Ortiz. So to open, Sammy and Ty were kissing. And then they hear honking, and all of a sudden they get interrupted, and it's Ruby Soho and Ortiz on a golf cart. Sammy Guevara gets run over by the golf cart. Poor Sammy, he can never catch a break when it comes to golf carts. Ortiz has a face paint, and Ruby Soho carries Ty Conti into the ring. So at some point during this match, Sammy Guevara gets busted open. Give me 1 second, you guys. Alright, so he gets busted open. And then I really like that senton to Ortiz, and then that code red. Ty and Sammy worked really well together. Of course, Anna Jay came down, and Ruby Soho center crashing into the steel steps. Melo did a superplex to Soho from the top rope onto Ortiz and Sammy. So Melo did the TKO to Soho, and Sammy Guevara and Melo ended up winning this. So according to the Figure 4 online, Ruby Soho suffers a broken nose at AEW All Out 0 Hour. So Soho's injury came at the conclusion of the Sammy Guevara and Melo versus Ortiz and Soho AAA mixed tag match, as Soho took a TKO for Melo directly to the face. Soho immediately covered her face with her hands as Melo pinned her, then was checked on by referee Rick Knox. Soho continued to hold her hands over her face as she was left ringside. So she broke her nose. That must have sucked, honestly. But I wish her speedy recovery. So the FTW Championship match, we have Hook versus Cool Hand Angelo Parker. So I feel like this has been Hook's longest match to date, as this match went on for a little longer than Hook's normal matches. Action Bronson was apparently at ringside, well, not in the crowd somewhere. And of course, Matt Menard tried to cause a distraction so that Angelo Parker can cheap shot Hook. That wasn't enough. Hook hit the Red Room to Parker, and Hook ended up winning this. Then Menard cheap shot to Hook at the end of the match, and Action Bronson came out and he saved Parker and Menard, and tagged Parker and Menard and saved Hook. So far, 0 Hour was okay. It was I really liked it. I actually did enjoy the mixed tag match, but I hope that feud is over. And then this FTW Championship wasn't so bad. And then we had the AEW All-Atlantic Championship match. It was Pac versus Kip Sabian. This is apparently Pac's 4th defense, but the first one here in the States. So Pac actually ended up winning this. And he gets interrupted by Orange Cassidy at the end. And Pac reminds him that, they've done that before, and he knows how that it ends. He says that he's not a wrestler, he's a joke, and so he tells him to go to the back of the line. And for some odd reason, Kip Sabian is yelling at the box. He's yelling at the box. So I don't know what's up with that. Maybe it's part of the gimmick, where maybe he thinks the box is alive, or the box is supposed to help him. So then we get Tomohiro Ishii versus Eddie Kingston. So I think this was a one match I was looking forward to the most. And it didn't disappoint. It was a good match. There was a lot of chest chops. There were so many chest chops. Man, I had to grab my chest because it looked It looked like that hurt. Honestly. All right. So you had this, like, Tomohiro Ishii did not go down. Um, he didn't go down easily. Took a lot for Kingston to get him down, and apparently the last time they wrestled, Kingston did beat Ishii. Ishii beat Kingston. My bad. I do apologize for that. And all it took like it took a Lex bomb to Ishii for him to finally beat Ishii. And so both men are now 1-1. I have to say, like, there are some people, like, if you watch Clash at Castle last night, there are some people that probably like Gunther versus Sheamus a lot more than Tomohiro Ishii versus Eddie Kingston. But I feel like was just as good. I think it really comes down to what people prefer. I feel like you can't like one or the other. You know, some people think that, but you should be able to like whatever you want. I personally, I like Tomohiro Ishii versus Eddie Kingston, but I also like Sheamus versus Gunther yesterday. So I don't see what the big deal is. I mean, they weren't similar at all. Although I can see why people think they're similar, or why they would be similar, why they would be comparable to each other, but I didn't think that at all. So. All right, so then the main card, we had the Casino Ladder match. Kicks off the Casino Ladder match. It was Claudio Castagnoli versus Wheeler Yuta versus Rey Fenix versus Penta Cero Miedo versus Andrade Idolo versus Rush versus Dante Martin versus the Joker. So this is a good match. I was actually really enjoying it. Andrade with the flipping powerbomb to Wheeler Yuta on the ladder. Ow, that looked like it hurt. Dante with the springboard. That was pretty cool. Fenix with the splash to the table with the Rouge. Penta with he took out Dante on the ramp, and then he took out Rush. And then the Destroyer Bomb to Andrade on the ladder by Penta. So just as this match was going on, a bunch of men in like black hoodies and sweaters come out, and they attack everybody in this match. And then someone climbs up to the top, grabs the chip, and it's revealed to be Stokely. And everybody that he recruited, All Ego, Ethan Page, W. Morrissey, Lee Moriarty, Gun Club, they're all there. And then the Symphony for the Devil plays. And somebody comes out with the mask. We can't see who it is. Everybody immediately starts thinking it's MJF. And Stokely Hathaway hands this chip to this person. And he looks like he's about to unmask himself, but he doesn't. He refuses to unmask himself. And that was the end of that. So I have to say, before I put all the clues together, I kind of didn't like how it ended, because I was like, what is going on? But I don't want to give it away just yet. So I'll talk more about that at the end when the surprise is revealed about who the Joker truly is. But for right now, let's just leave it at that. Then we get the AEW World Trios Championship matches, the Elite versus the Dark Order, Hangman Adam Page. So originally this was just supposed to be the Dark Order. It was supposed to be Preston 10 Vance and Alex Reynolds and John Silver, but then Preston 10 Vance got injured, and then Andrade took out Evil Uno, so Hangman filled in. This was actually a really great match. I really like this. I like the homage to Brody Lee that John Silver did. Now it seemed to me like there was something else going on. Like, at times, Silver and Reynolds, they were attacking Matt's back, but it looked like Hangman stopped them from doing that. Of course, Omega and Hangman had to stare down to, they probably to rekindle their rivalry. But here's the thing, like, so it comes down to Hangman and John Silver. John Silver holds Omega, and Hangman does the buckshot lariat, but Omega ducked, and he ended up hitting a John Silver. So this allows the Elite to be victorious, and you could see in Hangman's face that, like, he just felt so bad that they didn't win, and to know that it was his fault that they lost, wow, I bet he feels really bad. And I'm very curious to see where they go with this whole storyline. I'm actually pretty excited to see. I mean, it's no surprise at all that the Elite won this match at all. I think the trios titles were made for them. But I'm sure the original plan would have been the Elite versus Undisputed Elite for these titles. So unfortunately, that didn't happen. Bobby Fish is gone from AEW, and Cole and Fish are still injured, I believe. I mean, Cole and O'Reilly are still injured. But overall, good match. I liked it. I really did. So we got the TBS Championship matches: Jade Cargill versus Athena. First of all, I have to say, Jade Cargill coming out with her She-Hulk attire, and she had like a whole entrance, which I thought was pretty cool. And she had she even donned a wig. She painted herself green, like just freaking phenomenal. Like Jade does that a lot. I actually like that she does that. And I personally thought that Elite winning was good for them, but obviously predictable. I did manage to watch the show aside from the streams being pretty bad and buffering a lot. Yeah, seems to buffer a lot in BRL for some weird reason. So I actually really liked this match. Athena gave it all to Jade. This was probably Jade Cargill's best match to date and probably the longest match. But she still won. She hit Athena with the Jaded. And so it makes me think, who's going to take that title off Jade? Who? Maybe Chris Statlander? Because I think that was the original plan. I have Chris Statlander versus Jade Cargill. But wow, I guess Jade was right. Athena was number 37. So it's only a matter of time. Whoever beats Jade is going to it's going to mean something. Because, Jade has been undefeated this whole time. So it's undefeated streaks don't last forever. They don't. Even MJF lost. Everybody that's had an undefeated streak always loses their undefeated streak. So we'll have to wait and see who do you guys think is gonna be the person to beat Jade? Do you guys think it's gonna be Chris Statlander? Do you guys think it's gonna be maybe somebody else? Who do you guys think? Even Athena couldn't beat Jade. Now I think Statlander is going to beat her. I think so too. I think it's going to be Chris Statlander. So next we had Wardlow and FTF. Wardlow and FTR versus Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns. I was so looking forward to this match because you guys know I watch Impact Wrestling. I love the Motor City Machine Guns. And the Motor City Machine Guns versus FTR is a dream match. And we got a preview of that in this match. And I do apologize for the Megazord not being out. The Megazord is not in commission right now. So, if you guys recall on Dynamite, Sanjay Dutt said fight like an 8-year-old brat because he was basically, Dax was saying how he needs to fight like an 8-year-old, like his 8-year-old daughter. And I thought it was really cute that Dax bought his daughter out. So comes out with her and then she goes to the back. If I saw correctly, Lethal spat in Wardlow's face. You don't spit on people's faces and not expect to get hit. I really love the Motor City Machine Gun confrontation with FTR. We got such a tease. FTF, new name for FTR, according to the Megazord missing Chris, that little mess. That. Okay, yeah. Dax shows Chris Sabin and then slaps him. Oh my god, I cannot wait. I would rather have taken a tag match between Motor City Machine Guns and FTR than have this match. As good as this match was, I really want to see a tag match now. But if this is your first time seeing the Motor City Machine Guns, let me know in the comments section or in the live chat if you're watching this live what you thought of the Motor City Machine Guns. I was so excited to see this match. I love the Motor City Machine Guns. So, Wardlow just at one point manhandled Lethal, Sabin, and Shelly. And then let me see, Motor City Machine Guns were not bad. Yeah, they're not. I love the Motor City Machine Guns. Wardlow, the one thing I did like though, and I was a little worried because I thought that one of the guns, either Sabin or Shelly, was gonna get pinned. I'm so glad it was Lethal. Jay Lethal actually took the pin after Wardlow hit him with the powerbomb Symphony. And at the end of the match, of course, there was going to be. Still won't get me to watch Impact. Hey, that's okay. Impact Wrestling is not for everybody. Although you should check it out, though. Stop sleeping on Impact. Samoa Joe is back, people. He comes out, he cleans house, and then Dax's daughter comes out, and she slaps Don, and then she pins him after Dax knocks him down, which I thought was really cool. So it was a really fun match. Like I said, I really liked it, and I was so happy we got a preview of that. I love the Motor City Machine Guns. All right, so then we had Ricky Starks versus Powerhouse Hobbs. This was a short match. I don't want to say it was a squash match. I mean, because Ricky Starks did immediately go after Powerhouse Hobbs, but Starks did go shoulder first into the turnbuckle. He did hit him with the DDT and stuff, and this was just a really short match. I was surprised that Powerhouse Hobbs went over Ricky Starks. I mean, Ricky Starks being the babyface and being over, I really would have thought he would have won here, but I guess not. So now where does Ricky Starks go from here? Like, did he need to win more than Hobbs? I don't know. It was just kind of an odd decision to have Hobbs go over, unless Hobbs is moving on to face Wardlow for that TNT title, maybe at Full Gear. Hobbs beating Starks surprised me. Yeah, it surprised me too. I think it surprised a lot of people. Then we have the AEW World Tag Team Championship match, Swerve in Our Glory versus The Acclaimed. And Max Caster's rap at the beginning, he says, "Who you keep asking whose house it is, you can call me daddy, and I'm telling you to move out," which I thought was so hilarious. I have to hand it to Max Caster. Like, he is incredibly strong. Like, he did the Hurricanrana to Keith Lee. He picked up Keith Lee and put him on his shoulders. This match was freaking amazing. Swerve in Our Glory came off as the heels here. Yeah, they did. Like, there was a bit of a miscommunication between them too. I mean, Keith Lee bumped into Swerve Strickland and he kind of just bounced him. Then also later down in the match, Swerve Strickland accidentally hit Keith Lee with the kick. And like one of the things I think was the crowd was behind The Acclaim. Like, they were super cheering The Acclaim. And I was kind of shocked by the decision to Swerve in Our Glory to go to win. I think Tony Khan should have called an audible and had The Acclaim win, just because the crowd was so into them. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, at the end, the crowd was chanting bullshit. They were really that, like, rooting for The Acclaim. And at the end, Keith Lee with the scissor me daddy ass to Billy Gunn. So, but overall, great match. Like I said, I would not have been upset if The Acclaim won here. Not at all. But if they do face each other again, I feel like in The Acclaim wins and that, I feel like it might be a little forced, because like that's what the crowd was telling you. So I don't know. We'll see. But we have the interim AEW Women's World Championship match. Is Toni Storm versus Dr. Britt Baker, D.M.D. versus Jamie Hayter versus Hikaru Shida. So this match was originally supposed to be Thunder Rosa versus Toni Storm for the AEW Women's World Championship, but Thunder Rosa unfortunately suffered an injury and she was forced to miss this pay-per-view. Hence why we got this match. And like the crowd, if you guys noticed, the crowd was chanting for Jamie Hayter. Did anybody catch that? Because I did. One of our first spots in this match was when freaking Rebel comes in. And Shida and Toni Storm are like arguing with each other. She comes in. I don't know what she was trying to do. I think she was trying to like stop them from arguing. And she gets headbutted by the both of them. So I thought that was hilarious. But how about, I feel what's like the biggest talking point of this match. So Jamie Hayter towards the end hit the ripcord lariat to Shida. And Britt pulled the ref out of the ring. And Jamie was pissed. Like, you could see it. She was not happy that Britt did that. So maybe the breakup of Britt and for Britt's group is going to start with that. But she was not happy that Britt did that. And, like, there were moments where it kind of seemed like Britt was going to win. And don't get me wrong, I like Britt Baker. But I just felt like she shouldn't have won this. She shouldn't have won this match. And I'm so glad she didn't. Toni Storm ended up winning after she hit a DDT to Britt Baker, and then she hit Jamie Hayter with a DDT, and so she was victorious. So good women's match. I actually really enjoyed both women's matches. I'm glad that we got 2 on the card, so a big improvement over what we normally get, which is like 1 women's match on Dynamite. And we had Jungle Boy versus Christian Cage. So this match was also pretty short. Let me see. Britt Baker's coming off as the Charlotte Flair of AEW. Really? I can see that. I can see why you think that. So, like, as Christian Cage is coming out, Jungle Boy's mom slapped him. And I can't say he doesn't deserve it. I mean, he does deserve it for all that nasty stuff that he said about Jungle Boy's family. So then Jungle Boy comes out. And it's so weird because if I recall correctly, Jungle Boy said that Christian Cage was going to wrestle Jack Perry, not Jungle Boy. But yet he came out looking like Jungle Boy. Even the theme song, attire, everything was the same. So I didn't see Jack Perry out there. I saw Jungle Boy. Luchasaurus comes out of the opposite tunnel. So you guys know that Mency was a heel. And he basically beats the tar out of Jungle Boy, puts him through a table, and stuff like that. So, like, here's the thing. Like, you can kind of tell Luchasaurus is going to turn on him because he still was wearing the black attire. And he still had the heel theme song. So it's not a surprise here that Luchasaurus is still a heel. So then Christian Cage spears Jungle Boy and he hits him with the kill switch. And Christian Cage ends up winning this. So I guess we'll probably get a rematch somewhere down the road. But yeah, I'm not surprised Luchasaurus was turned heel here. I mean, hey, who's going to turn heel more? If he turns face again, he's going to turn face and heel more times than the Big Show. We're getting the match at Grand Slam. I can't wait to witness that live. Probably. Oh, I forgot about Grand Slam. And then we find out that we're going to get the Death Triangle versus Best Friends in Orange Cassidy. That should be a good match. Bryan Danielson versus Chris Jericho. Or I should say, the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson versus Lionheart Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho coming out with his old Lionheart attire, entrance music. He even looked younger. Was that just me? I mean, I swear, like Chris Jericho looked younger. Elliot Taylor, who I had no idea who that was, is a close friend of Bryan, and he came out to singing, and as he was going to introduce Bryan Danielson. And you can see Daniel Garcia watching in the back. So at some point, like Chris Jericho flips off the crowd and he starts throwing a chair around. And there was so much back and forth in this. Like you can see Bryan mocking Chris Jericho as a sports entertainer. And then I believe Bryan also tells him, "You wanted to wrestle? Let's go." And here's the thing, like Chris Jericho, I know, let me see. I was shocked to see Jericho win this. I thought Bryan was going to go over. Okay, I'll say about that right now. So, while the ref was distracted, Jericho gave Bryan a low blow, and then he hit him with the Judas effect. So Chris Jericho won this, and Daniel Garcia looked disappointed. So I think there was more to the story. So you guys remember, Daniel Garcia told Chris Jericho he didn't need to cheat to beat Bryan. That all he had to do is give it his all. So he cheated in this match. And you could see Daniel Garcia was disappointed. And he did not go to the ring to celebrate with the rest of the Jericho Appreciation Society. So it makes sense, storyline-wise, that Chris Jericho would beat Bryan Danielson. And the way that he did it, in a cheating way. Because now we get to start planting those seeds of Daniel Garcia turning on Jericho. It didn't happen in this match like I thought it was going to be, but now we got those seeds. And Daniel Garcia is still going to turn on Chris Jericho. And we get Miro, Darby Allin, and Sting versus House of Black, which at first I was didn't understand why this was going on second to last, but after what happened at the end, it's understandable as to why it happened second to last. So, I really like that stare down between Sting and Malachi Black. They stared at each other and then they went at it. And Sting sprayed mist into Malachi Black's eyes, and then Darby Allin pinned Malachi Black. that should tell you something. So Miro Singh and Darby Allin won this match. Yes, you could say Miro refused to tag in Darby Allin, given their past feud and stuff. But I think the reason why Darby Allin pinned Malachi Black is, if you guys recall, Malachi Black did request his release, and according to people in attendance at the end of this match, they apparently didn't show this on TV, but the people in attendance said that House of Black hugged each other, and Malachi Black blew a kiss to the crowd and took a bow. So that probably tells me that his release was granted, and explains why not only House of Black lost this, but the fact that Malachi Black was the one who took the pin, as opposed to Brody King or even Buddy Matthews. But who knows? Maybe he wasn't released. Maybe he's just taking time off. I guess we'll get more answers in the coming weeks or coming days. But yeah, so. And that's probably why this match went second to last, so that Malachi Black and House of Black can have their moment. Malachi's going back to WWE. You really think he is? Well, I mean, his wife is still over there. But yeah. So then we get a quick backstage segment with Daniel Garcia and Chris Jericho. Daniel Garcia says that Jericho let him down, and Jericho says that the Jericho Appreciation Society won't be there to support him in his match against Wheeler Yuta. And Daniel Garcia says that he needs the support from them, but Jericho's not going to be there to support him. So again, I'm telling you, those seeds are planted. Then we get the AEW World Championship match. It's Jon Moxley versus CM Punk. I think this is a match everybody was waiting for. Just before I continue, who were you guys rooting for? Were you guys rooting for Moxley or rooting for CM Punk? Like, I don't know why CM Punk went for that GTS. It wasn't going to work. I mean, Moxley obviously kicked out. I like the fact that Moxley was just flipping the crowd off. At some point during this match, Punk got busted open. Moxley's like socking him. He gets blood, Punk's blood on him, and he licks it off his hand. Oh shit, that was kind of gross. Malachi was a Triple H guy, so it makes sense. CM Punk was rooting for it, and I knew he was winning the title. I think a lot of us knew Punk was winning this. I think that if you went against Moxley, you were kidding yourself. So, like, Moxley flipped off Punk, then Punk flipped off Moxley. Moxley was flipping off the crowd. Everybody was flipping everybody off in this match. I really like that spot where, like, Punk did the GTS and Moxley caught him. Then he did another GTS. Moxley landed on his back. And then Punk followed that up with another GTS. And, of course, CM Punk was victorious. I mean, they're in Chicago, for Christ's sakes. You have CM Punk win, or if you're going to have a riot on your hands. And so at the end of that, here's Punk. The lights go out. And I'm like, what is happening? The lights go out. And a voicemail plays. And you can hear Tony Khan's voice basically saying, all you have to do is show up to All Out. It won't make you sign an extension. I think that's kind of a key. And you'll be the Joker in the Battle Royal. In the ladder match, I should say. And it bleeped out how much money he's being offered. Then a clip of Punk from Ring of Honor plays, and it's revealed that MJF is a Joker from earlier. And then MJF, there's chants, and then he flips off the crowd, and Punk raises the title over his head, and that is pretty much how All Out ends. So I had to rewind a bit. So I did not even think MJF was a Joker until people started saying it was true. I didn't put two and two together. So, first of all, I'm not a big Rolling Stones fan, and I don't think I've heard a song from the Rolling Stones. So I failed to realize that song that played was "Symphony for the Devil" by the Rolling Stones. So I didn't put everything together till the very end. And also, too, I didn't know Stokely Hathaway was MJF's manager in the Indies. So I missed that part. But yeah, so I missed all the signs that told me it was MJF, but it was MJF. I think a lot of us kind of suspected MJF was going to be a Joker. And MJF is probably going to take that title off of Punk the next time they face each other. Now, my one thing here that I kind of dislike is the fact that it seems to me like MJF is coming back in a stable. I don't think he needs a stable. And a stable is pretty much the Pinnacle 2.0. You have W. Morrissey, who is a powerhouse, the equivalent of Wardlow. You have the Gun Club, which you can argue is FTR. You have Stokely Hathaway, who you can argue is Smart Mark Sterling. Then you have Ethan Page, which I guess would be Sean Spears. And then you have Lee Moriarty, who would probably be, give me a sec, who would, actually, I don't know who Lee Moriarty would be. I made note of the people. Yeah, Ethan Page would be Sean Spears, Gun Club, FTR, MJF is MJF, W. Morrissey is Wardlow. So maybe Pinnacle 2.0. It's like, I don't know what. Let me see. MJF is back. Good. We needed this. You know why Stokely wasn't with Jade during her match? No, I don't. I think I missed something because I don't know why he wasn't with her during her match. But so I'm intrigued by the storyline. I just don't like the fact that he would come back in a stable. Like the Pinnacle, we never got an answer with what happened with the Pinnacle. I mean, when FTR and Wardlow teamed up, they call themselves the Pinnacle. So what's going on? What is this faction gonna call themselves? Seriously. But regardless of that, I am excited of the potential MJF CM Punk feud. The fact that in the voicemail you can hear Tony Khan say, you don't need to sign an extension. I wonder if that means he's just gonna let MJF's contract run out, and we'll see what happens with that. But with that being said, that concludes this review. I mean, overall, this pay-per-view I felt was really long. Could have been a little shorter. I would say that much right now. Some matches were short. Like Christian Cage and Athena and Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. So I'm gonna have to give this an 8 out of 10. Yeah, 8 out of 10. I feel like if you would have replaced the Starks Hobbs match with maybe like Tomohiro Ishii and Eddie Kingston, it might have been a much stronger pay-per-view. But it was overall decent, good pay-per-view. But it was kind of long. I will say that. Kind of long. Tony Khan needs to learn to shorten these shows. Crowd was almost in a coma after the tag match. Yeah, they were. I mean, and I honestly feel for my friends on the East Coast because it's like, 1 in the morning over there, and you guys are still up because of this pay-per-view. Not to mention all the people that are there. It's like past midnight, and they're probably still getting out of the arena. It's 1 a.m. here. See? 1 a.m. and you're still up. But with that being said, you guys, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continuous support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And I'll see you guys tomorrow after Monday Night Raw. Have a great night.